Hi and welcome to today's session. I'm Kirsty and I'm going to be taking you through this hip stretching session. We're going to start the session up on our feet and we're going to end up down onto the mat. I have no equipment at all for this session apart from a mat or a soft surface, so if you have that ready as well, then let's get going. Okay, so the first exercise that we're going to do is that we're going to do a long lunge and we're going to sweep the arms up. We're going to really open up the hips here. So I'm standing at the beginning of my workspace and I'm going to step back and sweep up the arms. I'm going to hold here for around about 10 seconds. And then release. We're going to switch over to the other side. So we're working the hip flexors here and also the quads. So stretching up, keeping that neck nice and neutral, holding and up. And again, sweep and stretch. Should be feeling into that hip flexor at the front there. Good. Keep your eye gaze nice and fixed, hold into that balance. Up, sweep and stretch. Making sure your upper body is nice and straight. We're not bent over. Up, good. Let's go for one more on each side, stretching and holding. Well done. One more on the other side. Sweep the arms up, stretch and hold. Nice and focused. And rest. Well done. The second exercise we're going to do is also going to be a lunge, but we're going to be going more towards the mat. So you can do this one with your knee onto the mat or your knee off the mat. I'm going to show you how I'm going to start this exercise off. I'm going to come back into a lowered lunge position and I'm going to put my hands down to the front. So that's how I'm going to start. If you prefer, then you can start with your knee down onto the mat and have your hands in front. It's totally up to you how you want to do this. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to put my hand down on the inside of my foot and I'm going to move my other arm around. So I'm just going to windmill round here and my eye gaze is following my fingertips. Back round. Feet come together, stand, and we're going to go for the other side. So pushing back, hands come down, around on the other side, eye gaze is following fingers, so we're working through the lower back with this exercise as well. Around, step forwards, coming up. Let's go again, two more on each side. So sweeping back, if you want to put that back leg onto the ground, then you can. Sweeping round. Hold. So you can hold these for as long as you want to. Coming back round. Up to stand. Again, I'm going to do this one with my knee onto the floor. Sweeping round. Hold. And when you're holding a position, make sure you're not holding your breath. It's really important. Sweeping round. Coming back up. And we're going to do one more on each side. So I'm going to sweep back. Hands down. Sweep around. Nice slow movements here. Holding. Working on holding those muscles in. Hands come in front. And one more on the other side. So we're going down. Only when you feel safe, you complete the movement. Good. Sweeping around, feet together, and rest. Well done. We're going to drop down to the mat into an all-fours position next. So all-fours position, we're going to work on opening up the hips from this all-fours position. Now I've got my wrist, elbow, and shoulder stacked up, and also my knee and my hip. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring out the knee and bring it in. So we're going to go for 5 on each side. Nice and slow. I'm trying not to rotate my chest, so I'm trying to keep my chest facing down to the mat. So working the inner and outer thigh here, and also the glutes. A little bit of weight bearing through the arms and shoulders as well, just for good measure. So that's 5. I'm going to change sides. I'm going to turn so you can see me. You don't need to turn. So into that all fours position, making sure elbow, wrist and shoulder are all stacked up. And again, out to the side, back in. So working the hips, not just in a forwards and a backwards motion, working to the side as well. And just work to whatever level of comfort is good for you. So if it begins to be painful, then stop. If you feel like you can't push it, then don't. One more. Chest facing the mat as much as you can, and rest. Well done. Okay, next exercise we're going to do, I'm going to be kneeling onto the mat. So my feet, I'm not sitting back onto my feet. Okay, so I've got my feet up, kneeling up, holding into my core. So that's really important here, making sure I'm holding into my core. Then I'm going to bring one leg out to the side. So now I've created this triangle shape here. I'm going to bring an arm up, and I'm going to lean over to that extended leg. So I can feel the stretch here, but I can also feel the stretch in my inner thigh here. I'm going to hold this for around about 30 seconds. If you want to, you can turn the foot, you can turn the heel and pull the foot up. It's going to give you even more into that inner thigh. Good. Keep stretching. Well done. Hold it with me, if you can. 2, 1. Okay, so bring that knee back in, and we're going to go to the other side. So again, bring the leg out to the side, triangular shape, and the arm comes up overhead, reaching over, and if you want to, you can turn that heel and bring the toe up. I'm trying to keep my hips facing forwards the whole time. So I'm trying not to turn to face my toe. Good, keep holding. Keep breathing, then you know that you are not holding your breath, that you're holding the muscles instead. That shows some good control through those core muscles. And rest. We're going to go for one more on each side of those. So anything in the kneeling position, you get into those core muscles, those ab muscles a little bit more. So again, going to the other side, leg comes out to the side, triangular shape, arm comes up, and bending over towards the leg, the extended leg. Well done. Good, stretching through. Again, if you want to turn that toe, you can. You don't have to. It's totally up to you. You can on some and not on the others. Try and do the same thing on each side if you can. You don't want to promote changing your balance, so you want to keep the same bodily balance if you can. He comes in to the other side, up and over. If you want to turn that toe, you can. You do not have to. Try and keep those hips facing forwards. Good. So we want to make sure that our bodies are balanced. So if you have a stronger side and a weaker side, which we pretty much all do, then you work to the level of the weaker side. Don't get the stronger side any stronger. Well done. Keep it going. Good. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, we're going to stay down, kneeling onto the mat. I'm going to put my toes together and open up my heels. And I'm going to sit back into my heels and just put my hands flat onto the mat here. Now, if you prefer, you can come all the way down into an extended child's pose here, or you can just stay up here with me. So I'm working on pushing into my heels here. If we're down here, we're working on stretching our arms as well. So I want to really be pushing into my heels, pushing back, holding for around 10 seconds in this movement here. Just holding in, making sure the back isn't arched or you're not rounding. So just a nice neutral back. Okay. Now I'm going to open my knees out a little bit wider, still sitting back into the heels, and I'm going to push back a little more. So just pushing back. Again, making sure the back's nice and straight, not arching and not rounding. Holding into those hips, opened up nice and stretchy. Okay, and if you can, one more time, just open slightly more and then push again. Pushing in, relaxing the feet so you can really push into the heels. Working all the way into the inner thigh here, into the groin as well. And rest. Well done. We're going to go for that one more time. I'm going to show you from the other angle as well, just in case it's a better angle for you. So just working to put your toes together, a nice small angle here, and I'm just going to sit back into my heels. So sitting back into the heels, a neutral spine, no arch, no sag, just a neutral spine here. And then I'm going to open up again. I'm going to push in, push, hold, really thinking about opening up the hips. And then one more time, opening up those hips and pushing back. Relaxing the feet if you can. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Well done. Okay, so we're going to be lying onto the mat again. So as we go through this session, we're getting further and further down to the lying position. So lying down into the mat, legs out in front. And you're just going to bring one knee up into the chest. Now I've got my other leg straight here. If it's too much pressure, then you can bring the other foot up. Otherwise, keep that straight, and that's going to give you a nice stretch through those hips. Well done. So you've got your hip flexors here. Bit of lower back as well. Release, and to the other side. Just stretching and holding. So I'm pulling in, I'm not holding onto my knee, I'm pulling in to help with that stretch. Good, and I've got the other leg stretched out, but you don't have to, you can have that knee bent, foot flat onto the floor. Totally up to you. 2, 1. Let's release, and let's go one more. So bringing that knee in, stretch and hold. Good. Release. Other side. Holding in. Remember that stretching is a form of self-care and is so important. You need to just release some of the tension in your joints and muscles. Stretching can really help with that. provides a little time for mindfulness as well, which I'm a big fan of. Okay, last exercise then. So lying out straight. You can have your hands onto your tummy or just down by the sides. And I want you to just try and bring your feet together and push your knees down to the floor. So you can do that away from your body, or you can bring them in really close to your body. It's totally up to you. You may not be able to get them down. You can try and push them down if you want to, or just hold them where is comfortable. You can use a yoga block to help you here. If you want to put a yoga block underneath your knees, a couple of books from the bookshelf. And you can also do this as a sitting stretch. Just because we're at the end of our session here, I like to do it as a lying stretch. Bringing the knees up and stretching out. Then we're going to go again. So just letting those hips settle down. Again, bring the feet together, the soles of the feet together, and work to whatever level you can. Push the feet in towards each other and the knees down to the ground. Put your hands onto your tummy. Make sure that you're breathing deep into your abdomen. You're not breathing too high up into your chest. Nice breath out, audible breath. And then when you're ready, bring those knees in towards each other. Stretch the legs out and rest. Thank you so much for joining me for this session today. I really hope you enjoyed this series of stretches. Please do subscribe to the channel, send me a comment and a like, and I will always reply to all the comments. So thank you so much and see you next time. Bye.